Are you ready? Hey, welcome everybody. Of course, this is Coach to Coach with Laura Van LaRusso and Dr. Keith McNally. And as always, we are live on Tuesday afternoon. So let's have that conversation. Today's conversation is about accountability. And so yesterday we talked and I told you about, I go walking every day. And so that's part of my routine. I want to stay healthy. And I used to be a runner when I was younger, running every day, not so much anymore.
Okay.
My knees ain't going to take it. Not, I call myself, half century old plus. Anyway,
Relatable.
yeah, I know it, but I still want to get that aerobic exercise because I'm an asthmatic. I was born with asthma. And what really was the clincher for me was in high school, I had a really bad asthma attack. Now, I grew up in Philadelphia, and this happened during the winter, and I don't breathe well in really cold air. It's just the way it is.
Mhm.
And so I had a really bad asthma attack at school, and it's one of those times where you have to use the emergency inhaler, but I wanted, for some reason, it was important to me to get better control over that. And so anyway,
Right.
long story short, I began running and build up that endurance, and now I do a 6 mile walk, power walk every day.
Wow,
Now,
great.
on the weekends or when I have time down, like on a holiday or such, I walk a
Mhm.
specific trail near my house. And recently, I have watched this group of 4 people walk the trail. And so, you know me, no
Very
longer a stranger.
friendly.
No longer a stranger to conversation. Because I heard them talk, they said this word, we're going to hold ourselves accountable. And so I asked them, what did you mean by that? And so they told me that they started walking the trail, the 4 of them, because they wanted to be healthy. Only one person talked about wanting to lose weight, but they wanted to be healthy. And they said that the only way they're going to stay motivated and continue to do this was if they did it together. And so they're
Right.
going to hold each other accountable for being healthy. And I applauded them and they applauded each other. And so I thought that was a really good idea to bring up as coaches, because
Mhm.
coaching, in our coaching experience, one of the primary things that we have to do is to hold our client accountable. Now, I know you went and did the research, and I'm sure
Yes.
you've got an acronym to share with us. So please, Laura,
Okay.
talk to us about accountability.
Okay. Well, accountability and coaching. Of course, we hold our clients accountable because they come to us with goals that they want to achieve. So how can you achieve anything if you don't have somebody who's supporting you, but also encouraging you to keep going, right? Especially when you want to give up. So my famous acronyms, I found the 3 C's.
3 C's to
Okay.
accountability.
3 C's for accountability.
What are
Okay.
they?
Okay, they are clarity of your objective. When you establish clarity, what your objective is, or for your objective. So in my case, it might be I would like to speak with confidence. I would like to speak with authority. I would like to engage in small talk and be comfortable about it. I'd like to be able to approach a group of strangers when I'm out on my walk. And normally I wouldn't like to do that, but now I feel more comfortable. Okay, so that's clarity for your objective. And then commitment to your objective. That's where your accountability partner comes into play, right? I joke with you that look how many health clubs make so much money, between January and about April, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
everyone promises that we're all going to lose weight. We're going to go to that gym every day. But then eventually we discover Netflix and and nobody really knows that we're not going, and we stay home and we don't do it. But if we have accountability partners or coaches, then we become accountable and we have commitment to our objective. And then the
Mhm.
third C, the final C, is consequences for your actions
Yeah.
or inaction.
Yeah, I was going to say, because there's a balance between the two. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And that's for, I'm sorry, go ahead. Yes.
what are the consequences for good actions?
Well, the consequences for good actions, especially if you're talking about coaching, is that you yourself will see the tangible result of your good effort, of your taking a chance and speaking to people that you may not be comfortable speaking with.
Mhm.
Or maybe it's learning a new skill. It doesn't have to be language, since we have a variety of coaching services and various coaches out there, right? You're learning a new skill and you've never done it before. And suddenly, because you've been practicing, you know how to do it. You took that chance. So that's what I'm talking about. Getting the results of all that hard work and that commitment.
Well, let's flip the coin. What about the consequences for inaction?
Well, inaction, think of yourself sitting on the couch eating that popcorn, watching Netflix. Right? What happens? You start to feel really bad about yourself. You start to beat up on yourself. You become very self-critical. It's
Mm.
not going to work. So inaction means that I wrote an article about this recently. If you always do what you've always done, you will
Mm.
always get what you always got. This is
Yeah.
this is a funny little phrase that sentence that I always repeat for my clients, because it's so true. If we always exercise old habits instead of replacing them with new habits or new approaches,
Mm.
we're not going to get anywhere. That's the consequence of inaction, or doing the same old thing the same old way.
Well,
That's why a coach can help you.
that's good. And I'm thinking, you kind of hinted to it, and I talked about it earlier. There's going to be a time limit to the coaching client relationship. It shouldn't be a crutch.
Right.
It's designed to empower and to create change in the individual. What we all know, like you just said,
Mhm.
you know, we're motivated to make change on January 1st, but come April 1st, April Fool's Day, we're not so
Right.
motivated anymore. So we need to, I like to call them cheerleaders. We need to find or encourage and motivate and ensure that our clients are finding their cheerleaders, their support team, those people who are going to be specifically designed to keep that person aligned and accountable for making change
Mhm.
beyond the client coaching relationship. Because without that support, and I like to call it the mastermind principle. Well, I don't call it
Right.
that. I like to use the mastermind principle as the foundation that we work better together, right?
Mhm.
We always work better together. There's never a way, and I think you said it at some point earlier or
Right.
maybe yesterday. Um, we need each other in order to be successful. And
Definitely.
that's always truthful, because we're not going to be successful alone. We can try, we can try, we can try,
Mhm.
but it takes two people to think through a problem. It
Mhm.
takes more than two people to be exponentially successful.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you bring up this point, which is so important. Community matters.
Yeah.
Okay. And you want to consult an expert and find other peer groups of people that are sharing your same struggles. I tell that story of how I got my master's at a later age in life, quote unquote, later age. And
But it's
when
such a, tell that story because it's such a heartwarming story.
Well, the quick and dirty version is this: that I wanted to become a teacher because I was always interested in it, and as an advocate, I was director actually of a dropout prevention program for youth with disabilities, and a lot of the people that I worked with were also educators, and they said, "Laura, you should be a teacher," and I said, "Oh no, no," and they said, "Yes, yes." So I listened and I took the advice, and I found out about a program that I could become ESL teacher, in English as a second language
Wow.
educator.
Cool.
So, but I was 46. And
Oh,
so at that time, yeah, because I was a late bloomer in life for many reasons, but anyway. So the thing is that at 46, I was working full time, two jobs, one, and basically, so my schedule was pretty much 7 to 7, pretty much. And then the master's program that I was in was like something like Monday nights and then on the weekends, Saturday and Sunday. And the group of people, the community that I met were very much like me. They were second career, start over folks, and people that wanted to enter the field of education that didn't originally start there.
Hmm.
All that to say,
Well, wait a second. You were also taking care of two other people.
I was taking care of my husband,
Yeah.
and he was helping to take care of our son, but I was also taking care of our son, who at that time was only 4 or 5 years old. So
Wow.
I said he was a toddler at some point, but he really wasn't a toddler, but he was little.
Yeah.
And he wasn't too thrilled about me leaving on the weekends, but I did it anyway. Of course, I had to do it. So the point is that when we all arrived on a Saturday morning at 7 in the morning to take our class with our professor, we were tired.
Yeah.
We were tired adults who had responsibilities outside of the classroom. So it was a tremendous sacrifice. And we supported each other. We became a unit. We were the first graduating class in New York City for this particular cohort program through Adelphi University. Yay,
Wow.
Adelphi. So my friends would call me and say, how are you doing? Did you eat? Yes. Did you finish the paper? No. Did you have a question? Or Laura, I don't understand this. What do you think they want? Oh, I think they want this. Okay. And we would work together and we would support each other and we would encourage each other. And that's what we need to do for our clients. We have to encourage them to not only learn and develop those skills that we want them to learn and develop, because they're requesting it, first of all, from us. They're requesting the help. But we want you to also seek help from other experts and from your community. And what I mean by that is surround yourself with people who are for you, right? People who are going to celebrate your success and push you beyond the one-on-one coaching, right? So you have identifying the goals, being accountable. For me, it means identifying your goals, creating an action plan with your coach, acting on that action plan, and then finally, as Keith is saying, and which I strongly agree, find a community then who will support you in your process.
I love it. Find your cheerleaders. Laura, there could have been no better way to end this conversation. So this has been another edition of Coach to Coach with Laura Van Russo and Dr. Keith McNally. We'll see you next time. Take care.
Thank you.